Hello there, everybody, and welcome to the third gaming interview. Now, let me introduce you guys to, this time, No Dragons, please.
Hey there, everybody. I'm NoDragonsPlz.
When did you get into gaming?
So I got into gaming, kind of at a young age. Like, I was probably 2, maybe 3. And it was Kirby's Adventure for the NES. And then, like, I also got my Super Nintendo probably not much later on than that. And the Super Nintendo was probably, like, what I played the most games on from, like, a young age. I mean, the GameCube, honestly, took a lot of my childhood. But yeah. So probably 2 or 3. That's about when I got into gaming.
What kind of games do you like?
So I find that I actually like generally most games, but I guess probably I'd lean towards RPGs just because it's fun to take like a weak character and then build them up and make them strong, make them like super powerful, and then just destroy everything in the game, because that's how most RPGs work. Is you take a weak character or a weak party, make a strong character and party, and you just like go around rampaging everything. So yeah, that's the kind of games I like.
What fan base in the gaming community would you say is the worst and most toxic?
Oh man, this is an easy one actually. League of Legends is a super toxic community, and the reason I would say that is because League of Legends is like at a point where veterans are like done with the game, newer people, well, relatively newer people, are like raging about the game, and they don't want to like have more newer people brought in because it, quote unquote, makes their experience worse. So yeah, totally League of Legends. Easily.
What's your favorite console?
I would say my favorite console is probably the GameCube, because, I mean, the GameCube had so many good games, and it just felt like it was like the pinnacle of like Nintendo. Well, I mean, it's either the N64 or the GameCube, but it just felt like the GameCube was like the pinnacle of Nintendo. They had tiny little discs that were so super cool, and the GameCube had a lot of games and a lot of fun games.
What game are you most hyped for?
Let's see, probably what I'm most hyped for is Kingdom Hearts 3 finally being released. I mean, they actually have like an actual date, so hopefully they'll stick to it. Because, oh man, I've been waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3 forever. Ever since I finished Kingdom Hearts 2, like what? 12, 13, 14 years ago? Something like that? Yeah, so easily Kingdom Hearts 3.
What is one game you would make if you could?
You know, I would say a game that I want to make. I probably couldn't do it, but I want to make a game where like it's an RPG and you're playing non-human characters, or not just non-human, but non-humanoid. So like, you know, humanoid is like our general figure. You could surely easily put lizard man or goblins into a game, but they're still kind of humanoid. I'd love to be like playing as like a wolf. Well, I mean, you can do that, I guess, in technically Twilight Princess, but like a wolf, like a dragon, like just play an RPG where you play non-humanoid characters. I think that would honestly be really cool. Or just really a game in general where you play non-humanoid characters, because there's really not that many. Like there's like Okami. You can count some of Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, but not all of it. Yeah, so it'd be kind of cool to play a game where there's not many humanoid characters.
What company would you choose to make your ideal game?
The company I would choose would probably have to be Square Enix, but then I feel like I would have to do like a 20-year wait. So I think Bethesda, well no, because Bethesda's kind of getting in that situation as well. Oh, it's hard. It's hard because like people are taking more times on their masterpieces of games than that, and it's just hard to say. Probably either Square Enix or Bethesda would probably make my ideal game.
What is your favorite location in a video game? Like, for example, a town or a dungeon?
My favorite location in a game is easily the Calm Lands on Final Fantasy X. Because you had just gone through all this trouble and strife, and you just look out on the landscape, and it's just like, there's so much destruction, but there's also like relative peacefulness as well in the area, and you're just like, oh, this is cool. And not to mention, I think it's actually technically the first encounter with a Malboro that you end up running into. So there is that.
In your opinion, what are 3 of the worst games ever made?
3 worst games, huh? Well, No Man's Sky easily takes the cake, and I'll always say that because I haven't replayed the game yet, but when I did first play the game, it was just so super disappointing that I was just turned off by it. Other than that, ooh, this is hard, because I really don't dislike many games, honestly. I think Demon's Souls was probably a worst game ever made, just because you have to do everything with so little health in the game to start off with, and that just was not fun. And then the last one, ooh. You know what? I don't remember the exact one, but it's a PS2 game where you play as Spyro and Cinder. That was like a pretty bad game. I think honestly, like, after Spyro Year of the Dragon, I feel like Spyro games went downhill. And of course, like, they just shifted Spyro onto like part of the Skylanders lore after that.
Who is your favorite video game music composer?
My favorite video game music composer is probably, hold up, Final Fantasy video game composer. I'm trying to, it's like Sakurai, I think. Oh no, Uematsu. Nobuo Uematsu is just, if you listen to any Final Fantasy soundtrack, like, even if the gameplay itself isn't solid, the Final Fantasy soundtrack is going to be, like, spot on. So Nobuo Uematsu, I had to look that up, but yeah, easily my favorite video game music composer, because it just felt like everything he made was a masterpiece. Yeah. Well, I mean, thank you for having me on the channel, and I was more than happy to do this interview. I want you to feel free to come check out my channel if you want, and as always, make sure you check out Patrick's channel as well, since he's the one who's interviewing me. So, thanks for tuning in to my interview. See you guys later.
Alright everyone, that is the 3rd interview. Thank you so much for letting me interview you, Dragon. And by the way, everyone, he has some pretty good content. He has some Star Ocean, and he's got some World of Final Fantasy, and some Call of Duty, and I saw a couple videos of Binding of Isaac on his channel also. Some great games that I absolutely love, so I highly recommend that y'all go out and check out his channel. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description down below. Alright everyone, oh, and by the way, my friend Ryan, the Boss Official, already interviewed this guy also. So I'll leave a link to his interview to Dragons in the description too. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Now see you guys in the next video. Goodbye everyone.